Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. I was thinking about how can I incorporate spring skincare changes, and then I was thinking that for seasons you really don't need to do a complete skincare overhaul, but you might need to make a few little tweaks. So I thought today I would share with you my skincare routine and the tweaks I make going into the spring season. A little bit of backstory. Hi, my name is Zach. I'm a medical esthetician and makeup artist in Toronto, Canada, and my skincare routine is targeted for me. Now, that might kind of sound like a no-brainer or duh moment as it's my skincare routine, but with social media and different creators sharing their skincare routine, a lot of times someone will see an entire lineup of products that their favorite influencer is using, and they'll go out and buy it and wonder why maybe they react poorly to it or it's not addressing their specific skin concerns. So that means my skincare routine is targeted for me. I'm 32. I have normal to oily skin. As the outdoor temperatures get warmer, I get a little bit more oily, especially through my T-zone. And around my eyes tend to be quite dehydrated. As far as my skin concerns, my skin often struggles with a temporary skin condition, which is called dehydration. Skin condition means it's something that can change and it can come and go, come and go. So my skin becomes dehydrated quite easily. And then I have a secondary condition, which is rosacea. I have what is called stage 1 rosacea, which means it's very, very mild. I get some flushing, but I don't have any of the bumps, anything ocular, or anything with the nose. So my rosacea is very mild. More so, it just means it's a little bit of annoyance because I get quite red through the cheek area and my skin can become a little bit more reactive and a little bit more sensitive to what I'm applying on top. And then my concerns with my skin is I like to keep breakouts at bay, I like to keep my moisture barrier intact, and I like to work on reducing what I can within UV damage and redness. So now that that's out of the way, let's jump right into this video and my skincare routine. So we're going to start off with what I do in the morning and then we'll move into the evening routine. My first step in the morning depends on how my skin feels. So every morning when I wake up, I like to do like a temperature check with my skin. Does my skin feel greasy? Is it calling for a really warm day outside where I need to be outside? Maybe I have like an event to go to. If the answer is yes, that I'm feeling really oily, really greasy, the first thing I will do in the morning is apply a face mask. Right now I'm using the Isntree Real Mugwort Clay Mask. I'll apply this for about 3 minutes and then I will jump in the shower, rinse it off, and then cleanse my skin. I like using a clay mask for about 3 to 5 minutes before I cleanse my skin in the morning because this will absorb the excess oil or sebum, help keep my skin a little more shine free throughout the rest of the day. Before I use this one, I was using the Dermalogy clay mask from Cetaphil. Really nice one, and what I like about this one as well as the Cetaphil one is they aren't dry and they aren't clay masks that leave your skin feeling kind of zapped and dehydrated and parched. You just feel kind of degreased, if that makes any sense. When it comes to cleansing in the morning, since I'm not removing makeup or sunscreen, I'm only removing any oil or kind of environmental gunk on my skin. I like to keep my cleansing very, very gentle. Recently, I've been using the Neutrogena Hydro Boost fragrance-free. As far as I know, the fragrance-free version is not available here in Canada, but we can get it through Amazon.com. You just have to pay import fees. In Canada, we do have the fragranced version, which fragrance in a rinse-off product isn't that big of a concern as it has such a short contact time with the skin, but I like to avoid fragrance where I can just to keep my routine simple, simplify and keep my risk of irritation to a minimum. After cleansing, this is the same for morning and evening. I like to use an essence, and I normally like to apply 3 layers of a hydrating essence just to give my skin a little shot of moisture between washing my face, patting it dry. I could experience a little bit of transepidermal water loss, which is evaporation of water from the top layer of the skin. So just to kind of rehydrate, give my skin a little moisture, I'll then go in with my Neogen Real Ferment Micro Essence with 93% Microbio Ferment Complex. Really nice one. This is Neogen is a Korean beauty brand. And as far as K-Beauty, this is a little bit more pricey than some of the other ones. I believe this retails for $44 to $45, depending on where you get it from. It's wonderful, and my skin just feels really hydrated, and I feel like I'm noticing a a brightening effect since I've begun using this about a month ago, and really enjoy it. I use this in my morning and evening routine after cleansing. I feel like we're getting a little bit of a glare off my glasses. I will use them when I need to, just to read. After I apply my essence or hydrating toner in the morning, I like to layer my serums in order of importance. Whatever I want to really kind of sink into the skin and do its job, I apply that first, because as you layer more products on top, there's less of a chance of the product that you apply last to really get the full potential. So I always layer in order of importance. So my most important active in the morning is vitamin C. I like the one from Timeless. This is the Timeless 20% vitamin C plus ferulic acid and vitamin E. Vitamin C is an antioxidant. Antioxidants are great for helping to reverse and repair oxidative stress, which can come from UV damage, pollution, lifestyle factors, stress, and just it can neutralize a lot of nasties that happen throughout the day. And it's also been shown to help with hyperpigmentation, reducing redness. The addition of vitamin E and ferulic acid in this formula, they primarily serve as stabilizers to help keep the vitamin C stable, because vitamin C, specifically L-ascorbic acid, which is the form of vitamin C with the most research backing it, showing its efficacy working. Now, that being said, that study is largely in relation to a specific product, which is the SkinCeuticals CE Ferulic Serum. While the names of that serum and the serum are similar, you can't really call them a dupe because the SkinCeuticals formula is patented, and we'll say this is just very inspired. I did use the SkinCeuticals for many years before switching to this about 6 years ago. So I think I started using the SkinCeuticals when I was 19 and then switched 6 years ago. So that would have been what, 26? So I used it for quite a while, and then I've been using this for the last 6 years, and honestly, I don't notice a difference. My skin tolerates both. This one, like some other skincare creators have stated, that this one doesn't have the kind of L-ascorbic acid smell that the SkinCeuticals does, and this is a fraction of the cost. I buy the 4-ounce size and I keep it in my skincare fridge, and keeping it in that cool, dark environment just keeps the formula stable for a little bit longer. So vitamin C is my first treatment step in the morning. Next, I like to follow it up with another antioxidant serum. This is also from Timeless. This is Coenzyme Q10 Serum, and you're getting the benefit of a secondary antioxidant in your skincare routine. The Coenzyme Q10 is a antioxidant that's naturally found in the body. What I really like about this formula is I like how my skin feels after I use it. When I use this versus don't use it, I can feel a difference in my skin's overall hydration levels. For me, the price point on this is really good. I buy the larger 4-ounce size because this lasts me for the better part of a year. So that means over time, I save money with what I'm using. And I've been using this for about 6 years as well. So for me, I found out about this product, the vitamin C, and the other serum I'm gonna talk about my nighttime routine through Angie from Hot and Flashy. And that was about 6 years ago. And I've been repurchasing them again and again since I first learned about them on her channel. And I have tried other things, but I go back to these because the price point is good and the way my skin tolerates them is really good. So Timeless Coenzyme Q10 is like my hydrating antioxidant serum in the morning. Next up in the morning routine, I have my final serum, which this is a newer addition to my skincare routine. And this is to really help target my topical redness that I struggle with. This is from the brand It's Skin. This is the Power 10 Formula Li Effector Firefighter. This is a licorice root serum. Licorice root is an anti-inflammatory and it's quite gentle on the skin. I tried this one out a while back after seeing Dr. Dre talk about it on her channel, and when I was looking online, this is a really good price point. I believe I got this online for around $10 US from Olive Young, which is a Korean beauty retailer, and I have been so happy with this that when I ordered this last time, I went ahead and ordered 4 bottles, so that way I have enough to cover me for the whole year. I keep it in a cool, dark place. When I'm not using it, I'll be able to use it up before it expires. That way I can make sure I'm not without it. I use this in my morning and my evening skincare routine. When I use use this, I noticed an overall kind of clarity and evening out within my redness. And when I don't use it, my skin looks a little bit more ruddy. And so this is for me a big part of keeping my skin happy and keeping my redness at bay. So that way when I don't wear makeup, I don't feel so self-conscious about the redness in the center panel of my face. For my morning moisturizer, I'm using an old favorite. This is the CeraVe PM Facial Moisturizing Lotion. This is a nice lightweight kind of gel cream moisturizer. I've been using this since 2014, I believe, and this was one I read about on the website Beautypedia, which is sometimes they feel a little biased towards certain brands, but this is a really nice fragrance-free lightweight moisturizer. And what I like is it has ceramides, which are an essential building block of the healthy skin barrier, and it has the inclusion of niacinamide, which niacinamide is something that some people can have a intolerance to. They can find it stings, it burns. I don't feel bothered by using it on my face or around my eye area. And niacinamide also has some great brightening properties to it. It also helps to balance oil production. This is something I always have on hand, and there's a lot of times when I'm using different moisturizers just to test them for the sake of reviewing products, I miss this. So whenever I reintroduce this back into my skincare routine, my skin is so happy, and it's a staple, it's affordable, I really enjoy it. Final step of my morning skincare routine is to use a sunscreen. Sunscreen is important because sunscreen, when used in a proper amount, which is roughly 1/4 of a teaspoon for face, another 1/4 of a teaspoon per neck, which for the average person breaks down to about 1 milligram per square centimeter, which is how most sunscreens are tested and formulated. You need to apply in that amount in order to get the SPF label on the bottle. It's a lot of sunscreen, but I like to break it down into layers. I'll apply in 2 or 3 thin layers depending on the sunscreen that I'm using. Since my skin is a little bit more sensitive, I'm prone to sensitization and I'm prone to redness, I like to generally use a mineral physical, and those filters are zinc oxide and titanium dioxide. For me, my favorite one is the Olay Regenerist Mineral SPF. This is an SPF 30. I enjoy it. For me and my skin tone, I don't feel like it leaves a cast. It works well under makeup. If I'm gonna just kind of be around the house or maybe have to run a few errands, I will layer this under a tinted sunscreen. And I don't have a tinted sunscreen here because I have a few that I really like that we'll be talking about later on in the spring, but I don't have a strong preference. Use whichever one works for your skin tone is the biggest thing for me. First step in my nighttime routine is a first step cleanser. First step cleanse is an oil-based cleanser, and that will help break up any type of tenacious makeup, sunscreen that I have on. Think of this as the first step that removes all the kind of gunk off the surface of your skin, so that way your normal cleanser can go through and properly cleanse the skin. Currently, my favorite one is the Kose Softymo Speedy Cleansing Oil. This is a Japanese cleansing oil. It is fragrance-free, it's lightweight, it doesn't leave a sticky residue or a film, it doesn't make the eyes feel blurry. Really nice one and quite affordable. And then for my second step cleanser, I always like to use something a little bit more gentle. For the longest time, I've been using my CeraVe foaming facial cleanser. It's a favorite. I recommend it. It does kind of foam up gently, but for most people, it does not leave the skin feeling dry, dehydrated, parched, or kind of stripped of the essential oils that are needed for the barrier support. For people who are more on the dry to very dry side, it might feel a little too much for them. So something like this one I'm using now, which is the Neutrogena Ultra Gentle Daily Cleanser, creamy formula, fragrance free. This is a really nice one. It's almost like a moussey gel, and it's no fuss. It gets everything off, and I find it does a little bit better at removing kind of an oily film on the skin than the Neutrogena one I'm using in the morning. And this is available in Canada, and this large bottle I think is around $10, if not less. So it's a very economical purchase, and it does really well. After I cleanse, I'll use my essence again, and we've already talked about that in the morning routine. And then at night, I'll use that third timeless serum, and this is the Timeless Matrixyl 3000 Serum. Matrixyl has a few different claims. Nothing has some strong evidence-based results behind it other than some smaller independent studies. But what I love about this is it's extremely hydrating, and it's like a vitamin shot for my skin. It just makes my skin feel so soft and plump and soothed. So I really love this as a nice hydrating step. And even though it's not an essential, it's a very welcomed addition to my skincare routine that I enjoy and I've gone back to for about 6 years now. Then I'll go back in with the It's Skin Li serum, and then I'll go in with a product that feels like I'm going to run out, so this will be in an empties, but I've got backups. And this is from the Inky List. This is the tranexamic acid night treatment. You can technically use this day or night. I just use it at night. And tranexamic acid is an ingredient that is naturally found within our body, and tranexamic acid has been used in medicine for years, but in recent years they found out that tranexamic acid does have benefits for brightening the skin tone, reducing pigmentation, and helping with redness. So I started to use this. This is around $14 here in Canada, and I buy 4 at a time because I can't be without it. And since I've started using it, about 4 to 6 weeks of starting to use it, my skin just had this overall brightness that I was like, wow. And when I started using this in combination with this, it's just like, I feel more confident now, not even wearing a tinted sunscreen. Like, I feel like my skin has improved and it looks so much better and has a better clarity at baseline that I'm a lot more confident with how my skin looks. Tranexamic acid is a great one for brightening, and it's one of the brightening ingredients that has results on par with the prescription hydroquinone, but it doesn't have the potential rebound, and you don't have to cycle on and off of it like you do prescription hydroquinone. However, hydroquinone is an ingredient that is proven to really help lighten up stubborn dark spots and melasma. So if that is a concern, speak with your dermatologist, as it's prescription only, or if you don't have access to a dermatologist but you do have melasma or hyperpigmentation or even redness that is just not budging, give this a try. It's generally well tolerated by all skin types and skin tones, and it's quite affordable. So tranexamic acid by the Inky List. And then currently 3 nights a week I will use my topical retinoid. My topical retinoid is prescription tretinoin. This is a newer tube. You can use it every day, but where I've been using tretinoin for so long, I don't really need to use it every single day, so I only use it 3 nights a week, and that way my skin gets a little bit of a breather to make sure I'm not throwing too much at it, since my skin can become more sensitive. And I use 0.25%. This is the cream version. It's the most gentle. There are higher strengths, but it might take you a little bit longer to see your initial results, but after about a year, the different levels, they kind of balance themselves out. And if you're wearing sunscreen and using some other actives to address your concerns, I feel like sticking with a lower vehicle that reduces your chance of having irritation does just as well. And it's just a little bit more, there's no need to be aggressive if you're doing this as a long-term treatment. Keep it simple. You'll get your results. Just be patient and your skin will thank you in the end. This is from Olay Regenerist. This is the night recovery cream, fragrance free. This has green tea, which has polyphenols in it, which is an antioxidant. It also has niacinamide, and it's just a nice basic moisturizer. It gives a little extra boost to the skin. It's great for creating a nice kind of occlusive seal on the skin. And nights when I use my tretinoin, I'll apply this first. I'll give it about 20 to 30 minutes to fully dry down, and then I'll apply my tretinoin on top. It's going to dilute the tretinoin a little bit, but it's going to help you, especially in the beginning stages of using a prescription retinoid. It's going to kind of buffer the skin so that retinization phase, which is what a lot of people experience, where their skin is like raw, peeling, just kind of not the best looking. It's going to help alleviate that a little bit, so it's just a little bit more easy to use. So really love that moisturizer. And then a newer product I've been using is actually an eye cream, which an eye cream is not necessary, but now we are moving into spring. I do have seasonal allergies, so I have been using a product that a subscriber suggested to me, and this is called Ducray, the treatment for eyelids, atopic or contact eczema, blah, blah. What I like about this is it's a really rich, occlusive, almost like eye cream meets balm for the eye area. For me, it's very, very soothing. And I believe the person who recommended this to me, I believe she is in the Netherlands, and this is really good for the climate there where it's a little bit more cold and more harsh. For me here in Canada, it does create a nice occlusive seal. It almost feels like a bubble wrap for around the eye area. It's just very soothing, very hydrating, and I find it very calming. So this has become a new staple staple. You can get it here at Shoppers Drug Mart. It's around the $25 price point, which isn't horrible for a product like this, and you use such a tiny bit, this will last you for quite a while. Once my skincare has fully absorbed, my retinoid has fully absorbed, I always like to go through and use something I talk about and I preach about on my channel quite a bit, and that is using a barrier balm. A barrier balm is going to be like your fluffy comforter that you throw on to keep you nice and warm, protected at night. It's La Roche-Posay Cicaplast Balm, B-A-U-M-E B5. It's got vitamin B5 in it, which is panthenol, which is a really good skin soothing and healing ingredient. It's just so nourishing. It's so pampering. It's like a product is just swaddling your skin. If you're someone who has a lot of contact irritation, eczema, or anything that's just really irritable that's bothering your skin, even like a sunburn, I keep this in my skincare fridge so it's nice and cold when I apply it. And when I wake up in the morning, any type of irritants I have, this just really soothes. I generally reach for this one more in the warmer months, and in the winter I'll use the other one I love, which is the Avene Cicaplast Balm, and they are both panthenol based products that are very soothing. This is a more of a lightweight kind of moisturizer consistency, and the one by Avene is a little bit more richer, more viscous. They both kind of remind you of diaper rash cream, but they are so soothing and so comforting. And then at night, to kind of lock in moisture to my lips after I brush my teeth, I always like to apply some type of lip balm or lip treatment, and for that I use my CeraVe Healing Ointment. This is a nice petrolatum base. It does have CeraVe's classic ceramide kind of mixture in it, so it's like Vaseline with a little extra love added into it, and it's wonderful for locking in moisture around the lips. If my under eyes feel particularly dry, after I apply my eye cream, I'll take a tiny bit of this on my ring finger, not even a pea size, just a tiny little bit where you can feel the slip, put it between my fingers, and then I'll tap it around my eye area. That's kind of what some people now are calling slugging for the skin, which is where you're putting like a petrolatum based product over to kind of create like a cling wrap feel on the skin, just to really lock in that moisture and help with transepidermal water loss. But for me, I've got enough on my skin already when I go to bed to help lock everything in, so that way using something like this on my lips, around my eyes when I need it, is really beneficial. And I love this, and it lasts forever. It's petrolatum, so it's shelf stable for quite a long time. And I also use this around my cuticles, my elbows, my knees, anywhere on my skin that needs a little extra kind of love and a little bit of moisture. I feel like this can be a longer video, but hopefully you found it helpful. I know lately I've been getting some really wonderful comments from some of my subscribers that are saying my skin just looks really good, and that really touches me. It makes me feel good because I don't have a fancy camera. I film with my iPhone 12 Pro Max. I use the back camera, so I get the most definition. That means I don't have any type of like smoothing or blurring filters, which sometimes honestly I wish I had, because I'll see things like now it's been an almost 5 months since I last had my Botox or filler done, and I'm seeing kind of crow's feet pop back in, or I'm seeing my forehead get a little bit more movement, and I'm like, ooh, I wish I had something to kind of smooth that out a little bit. But with some of the comments I've been getting from all of you complimenting me on my skin, it's like, oh, maybe things aren't bad as I think they are up here, because you know, we are our own worst critics, and seeing yourself on camera, because for a video that I post like this, which will probably be around the 20-minute mark, if not longer, or hopefully not longer, it can take me a couple hours to edit, and that means I'm staring at my face for hours. So that's when you like hyper realize and you notice things that a lot of other people won't notice. And then I've been uploading 3 videos a week, so that means I'm staring at my face for a better part of 40 hours a week. And that amount of time, you notice little things like, let's tweak that, let's fix that. So thank you all for such lovely comments, and I hope you found my skincare routine and the products I use and why I use them to be helpful. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments down below. Share this video with a friend and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. I will see you all in the next video. Bye y'all.